What's going on, everybody? My name is TAETRO, and today I want to talk to you about Bluetooth, whether it's Bluetooth audio or Bluetooth MIDI. I'm just seeing a lot of confusion in my comments and my DMs, people getting frustrated because they don't really understand what Bluetooth means in this context of home studio music production or mobile music production. Being a home studio music producer can be a really frustrating process because you're constantly trying to learn things, usually on your own, searching the internet for the best resources to learn the technical aspects, the musical aspects, and then there's the whole element of what gear to get. Now, I was lucky to have a formal education in music, but I also spent hours upon hours on the internet looking for those same videos, and it was a slow and frustrating process. And if you're finding yourself getting more and more frustrated by that, you should check out Skillshare, the sponsor for today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 classes in business, music, design, and more. With a premium Skillshare account, you get access to all of the courses on Skillshare, so you can dive into whatever you want, whenever you want. And a premium membership is pretty affordable at under $10 a month. For home studio music producers, you could be wanting to learn more about a DAW or learn more about music theory to improve your songs and your compositions. Skillshare has courses in all of those things. And right now you can click the link in my description and get 2 months free of Skillshare. Think of all you can do in 2 months. You can make some serious headway and really progress in your home studio. Join the more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. Use the link in the description, get the free 2 months, and see what it does for you. Thanks so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. All right, let's talk all things Bluetooth. All right, but since we are talking about Bluetooth, let's set the mood. Much better. All right, 2 important distinctions to make here. Bluetooth audio and Bluetooth MIDI, 2 totally different things. A lot of people like to say that, oh, Bluetooth is so laggy, there's so much latency. Yes, in one respect, no, in another. Let's get into it. Bluetooth audio, that's sound that either comes out of your headphones or comes out of a speaker. That's audio, that is sound that you hear. Bluetooth MIDI, that's notes on a MIDI keyboard. Here's my keyboard block, a Bluetooth MIDI controller. When I press a note, it sends a signal that says no on, no off, amongst a bunch of other really cool but simple to transmit signals. Now, when you listen to audio from your computer, your iPad, your iPhone, your mobile device, on Bluetooth headphones, there's a little bit of latency. When you're listening to music, you can't really perceive that latency because you're just listening to a track. You might notice it when you're watching a video. If the audio seems out of sync with either a person talking or playing an instrument, what you're watching versus what you're hearing might seem a little bit off. That's where that latency comes in. This is a huge problem when you're using Bluetooth headphones or a Bluetooth speaker to try to produce music because the latency is just too high when transmitting Bluetooth audio for real-time performance. Meaning that when I play a note and the sound is coming out of Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth speaker, it's gonna be way too delayed with the rest of the music and I'm not gonna be able to play in time. This is an audio problem, not a MIDI problem. So you might wonder, hey, I see you use this JBL speaker all the time on Instagram and in your videos on YouTube. How can that be? When you see this speaker being used in my live sessions, it's hardwired in. On the back right here, which I can never open, there's an aux port. Then I use an aux cable to run this from my sound source to the speaker. So I'm hardwiring in sound. I'm not using Bluetooth audio over the air. There's too much latency with Bluetooth audio. Bluetooth MIDI, on the other hand, now if I'm hardwired in and I'm using a Bluetooth MIDI controller like this keyboard block, the latency is low enough so that I do not perceive the distance between the time I hit the note and the time I hear the note. This makes it so I can play in time, I can jam along, I can play my tracks with no wires attached. Because the only latency I'm worried about is the Bluetooth MIDI signal latency, and that is so low I cannot perceive it. If you want to try to test like what latency level you can perceive, you can actually go into your DAW, or at least in Ableton Live I know, you can adjust the input latency. Now computers with higher processing power can get the lowest amount of latency, so mine is usually set to the lowest possible latency. If your CPU power isn't quite enough, when you go low, it might start to crackle or something. So what you want to do is try to get the lowest latency level you can with the audio still being okay. But go ahead and try this. Go to your settings in your DAW and try to raise incrementally the input latency level. Then try playing along to a simple beat on your keyboard. See how high you can get that latency level before you notice it, or before it impacts your playing. This is a great way to understand latency in general. The computer does need time to process that input signal and send it back out to your ears, but that's a lot easier to do with on-off messages like MIDI messages than it is entire streams of songs. That's why it takes so much longer for audio to get to your ears based on your input. I've also seen quite a few people say that Bluetooth MIDI is just not reliable, and I think it has to do with that confusion between audio Bluetooth and Bluetooth MIDI. But I've used my Rolly products that are Bluetooth. I also used the Sensel Morph, also Bluetooth. And in all the hours that I've spent, you could go back and count the number of sessions that I've done with these, which amounts to hours and hours of using wireless Bluetooth technology to perform and record beats. I've never had an issue. I've never had one of these controllers drop out, randomly turn off, randomly disconnect, never. So I don't really know where that notion of this being unreliable is coming from. It just hasn't been my experience. I think it's also important to note that when you get a Bluetooth MIDI device, you're not necessarily connecting it the same way you connect Bluetooth headphones or Bluetooth speaker. Normally you'd go into your computer or your phone settings, click on Bluetooth and go ahead and connect the device. That's not how I connect these devices. On Mac, you can change the audio MIDI settings directly, select Bluetooth, and when one of your Bluetooth pieces of gear is on and ready to send signal, you select it in there and then it becomes a controller. I'm not going into the normal Bluetooth setting. On my phone, when I connect a Bluetooth controller, I'm actually going into the app that supports Bluetooth MIDI and selecting it from within the app. Again, not going to the normal Bluetooth settings of my phone. Just wanted to take a minute and clear some of that up about Bluetooth MIDI because I can see a lot of people are frustrated out there, and there's a lot of really great Bluetooth gear, Seaboard Block definitely included, and a lot of workflows that could be improved if you can just wrap your head around the difference between Bluetooth audio and Bluetooth MIDI. It's pretty much part of my daily workflow, and it's something that any home studio music producer who's trying to save space or is traveling or is on the go should definitely take advantage of. Let me know if I missed something, and let me know how high you can get your latency settings in your DAW without actually noticing a difference if you try that out. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and share it with somebody who might also find it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more live electronic music performances, tutorials, and content to make you a more productive producer. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one. On my phone, when I connect to Bluetooth, I was in a flow.